we know what Jesus was when he was a man on earth. What was his profession? Was he a doctor?
Carpenter.
He was a heavenly doctor, but what was Jesus' work?
Carpenter.
But that's his heaven. But when he was a man on earth,
Panday to si Lord Jesus.
Jesus
Panday to
was
siya.
a carpenter. Because we know Jesus is the foundation. Jesus is the foundation. But also the builder. Without us, without the carpenters, the workers, there's no building. Without Jesus, there's no building, heavenly building for us. And then once though I became, and Jesus came in, and it's like, oh, Jesus, please forgive me for my sins. I could feel right away, boom, that God coming in me. And so it's no longer me. I feel me in there because I'd rather go steal a chicken and have a dinner. I would rather. Good afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope everything is going totally awesome for you. Today, again, back at it. I have an exciting show because I took time and again looking at so many YouTube videos trying to explain how and why things could come into existence. So again, as investigators, as scientists, we just look at evidence and then we use the brain to figure out what the causes are for those. Simple science. Like you have a pain in your back and you turn around and you see a knife stabbing there. Oh, somebody stabbed you in the back. Now that can be a physical thing or mental, getting stabbed in the back by somebody. But that is what I can say. The cause, then, a knife in your back, most likely was a person stabbing you. Now, you could have fallen down on a knife, and that could have done it. Did you fall down? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to see some evidence on some incredible biology, and we're going to see what we think. What was the cause of this? And I'm going to start out, and I'm going solo. So if you have comments, I'm sorry, I'm probably not going to get to them. But I might. Okay, so I'm going to share this. This is kind of what we're going on, because as a Proverbs Guy Ministry host, we have come to the conclusion that the cause of everything is God Almighty. So in science, I'm always told, Dan, you have to have some novel predictions in science. So then that you can kind of build upon. So let's see if we got here. Let me get this one up there. We didn't, of course, because I didn't add it yet. Let's get rid of the old guy and put this up here. This is book of Romans. This is chapter 1 of the book of Romans, and Paul is telling everybody, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth, the Greek, to the Jew first, and also the Greek." So everybody, you're either a Jew or you're what would have been called a Greek, a non-Jew, and for wherein it is revealed a righteousness of God from faith to faith, as it is written, but the righteous shall live by faith. And this gospel here, you could look it up in 1 Corinthians 15, where it says that it was the gospel that he gave to the Corinthians, that Jesus died for our sins and rose again from the dead, that whosoever believes in that, is now the paraphrase with other scripture, if you believe in that, your sins are forgiven. And what's a sin? Sin just means you're not hitting the mark in your mind or God's mind or somebody else's mind. So maybe it would have to do with us. It's a archery term. And if you did not hit the bullseye, it was sin, because we're trying for the bullseye. So anything in your life that you have guilt about, anything that you wish you could have done better or had an instant replay, a life true live replay that you could redone something in your life, that's what he's talking about, the sin. That can be forgiven because we're imperfect. Another way to say it is perfection. And I know some of my friends' jokes like, I'm 98% perfect. Now, and we know that perfection or a bullseye when you're shooting is a bullseye or it's not a bullseye. You're perfect or you're not perfect. And if you have any guilt about not being perfect, that's what this gospel is about. And so we'll go on here. 18 verse 18, if you have a right universe mind. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hinder the truth in unrighteousness, because that which was known of God is manifest in them. For God manifested unto them. For the invisible things of him, since the creation of the world, are clearly seen, being perceived through the things that are made, even his everlasting power and divinity, that they may be without excuse, because that, knowing God, they glorified him not as God, neither gave thanks, but because vain in their reasoning, and their senseless heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the incorruptible God for the likeness of an image of corruptible men and birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. And I would paraphrase that: creeping things as themselves. People, including me, made myself a god. That is what he's talking about. So here we go. That is kind of our base. And so this is a pretty novel prediction that you could actually see things. You could see even the cause having to be something outside of time, space, and matter. It had to be something. Oh, too far, too fast. Wrong way. Come on, Dan. Right direction. Let's not make everybody. Warning, you probably should have taken Dramamine already for your motion sickness that you're going to get. So let's do this slowly. Oh, I can do this thing. Oh, there we go. Look at that. I have the technology. And here we go. Romans 20. For the visible things of him since the creation of the world are clearly seen, being perceived through the things that are made, even his everlasting power and divinity. Some say Godhead, different words that you can use there, but being God himself, that they are without excuse. And that's why we're here in Proverbs Guys Ministry. We don't want you to get up to the judgment seat of God and then play ignorant. So, oh, but God, nobody told us this. Well, yes, it's novelly predicted right here that we can see things. And that's what we're going to dig into. The videos, secular videos of this awesome stuff, which I could go on and on in. That's my, instead of doing the whatever videos people do that just watch the senseless videos, I do those too. With a dog dancing, missing mod if you're there. Love those things still, and I watch those too. But you can do videos, and I do videos one after another showing the awesomeness of God. Let's see one right up. First thing, we are going. You probably didn't hear that last part because I just took myself off the stage. Anyway, here we go. What do I have? What treat do I have for you all that will prove, well, not prove, it will show evidence that the cause, and show evidence that the cause is pretty, the easiest explanation is a designer creator. Let's see if I get the right one up. Not that one. Oh, no, I'll do that later because that had nothing to do. That was supposed to be before. We'll do this one first. And we're going to share this. This is inside of a cell. Animation. Let me make sure to get it up on screen for you guys. And there's that one. We're going to put that full screen there. Check this out. Uh-oh, I got to get that bigger. Please remind me, people, get that bigger when I get up there. This thing is wrong one there. Straight. Oh, I got it. Okay, we'll make that big. And then we're going to see. Oh, something's going wrong here. Where are we? How did I do that? I'm hearing an echo. We got that one up there. Let's try it again. I think we knew what I did. Maybe, maybe not. Nope. Okay, so we're just going to play this, see if it works. That's great. Hello there. Testing, testing. Oh, that was me. I did it. Okay, here we go. Is this one it? Here it is. Okay. Onward and upward. The human cell. This is our, gene library. Isn't that cool? They actually use terms that people can understand because that's what this looks like. The evidence we see here looks like in the gene. So all the little guys wrapped up there are our genetic information. And again, they use the word genetic information because what it looks like and what it actually is information. So here we go. This is what we're looking at here. And this is our genes being reproduced trillions of times. trillion times on the planet today. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that as a factual thing. Any mathematical stuff that hasn't been researched is just random. No, it's a lot of times. I should have just said that. This is happening a lot of times. So all you people that just want to focus on a misstatement instead of looking at this meat, look at this. So the little green guys there, other videos showed that. That is proteins that can only be made when you have the DNA, and that's the little necklace thing there. That's the DNA that has the information in it to make a protein that can actually reproduce the necklace. Come on, guys. What kind of let's go back. Let's try to design this. We are going to re-engineer this thing because this is awesome. So how do you make the little green thing, which is actually at the ripping a protein or proteins that are dividing the DNA, because that's a strand, and they're actually reproducing the individual letters. We call them this is all English terminology. I don't know what the cell wants to call it because that's what we'd have to know to be actually that I'm not going to get ridiculed for my language, which is actually scientist language. So, no, not the necklace thing. That wasn't. So, if I say something that sounds technical, that's not my language. And so it is unwinding the necklace, and everybody's most likely, and if you haven't seen the DNA, look into it. Plenty of animation for the cartoon generation like myself. So you can see, then we have the little squigglies coming out of the green thing connected to the necklace. Whoa, that is a copy of half of that necklace part that they need. But again, the green guy, the little green ball, is proteins which need to be made by little nano machines, that the information was gotten out of the DNA chain. Dudes, I'm having some difficulty re-engineering because how do we get a reproducible chain when you need the reproduction of the chain by the proteins to make the proteins that read it so I can make it? That is okay, guys. I mean, that's what you got to look at as a designer. Right now, that's our evidence. It came either by chance, because mutations are just chance, then worked on by natural selection or whatever other, the niche it's in or whatever. But this is inside a cell, so this was already inside of something. Complex cell, yes, it is. We're starting complex because we're looking at the complex so we can figure out how to even do it simply to get back to the time that this thing was simpler. But re-engineering, we're smart. We could re-engineer the space shuttle. Not me, but humans can. But let's go on this one. So here we go. Little explanation there. Okay, so look at the little squigglies with the little green. It looks like a little apple candy thing, almost like a Skittle. But anyway, it somehow, once it got it from the DNA, is going to go through the gateway. Why do you think that? As a designer here, we're going to look, why would you need that? Something is getting stuff from the outside into the nucleus of the cell and vice versa. If you didn't, you would have all these little nano parts not doing their jobs. So we got to figure, okay, so it's reproduced itself. Here's a little structure that they're going to take in or out, and that's the little gate guy, and it is going to keep other stuff from coming in or out. How does it do that? Then who's the gatekeeper? If you go to a even something simple in humanity, a hotel, and you got the guy out front there, or some kind of concert venue or speaking venue, you got a dude out there, and you got to give him a ticket to get inside. And if you're really smart, you'll actually get ID from them. If you go to a Democrat convention anywhere on the planet, you're going to have an invitation, and you're going to have ID to prove it's you to get in there. How does the cell do that? Well, it evolved over 300 million years, 10 billion years, a trillion years. Come on, guys. Weak evidence that this is a chance happenings that occurred through mutations. Let's keep going. This is awesome. Can you see why I love this stuff? All right, that's the close-up of our little necklace and the twisted ladder looking structure. I'd wear a necklace like that, and I don't like jewelry. That's cool. Probably too, it's so small nobody'd see it. Okay, here we go. Oh, each of our 10 trillion cells has 3. Okay, I'm doing math, you guys. This is not, I didn't look this up. This is for you guys, but it'll give you an idea. 1 meter is about 3 feet. So 5 feet, 6 feet, somewhere in there. And this you can't see. It's microscopic. It is billions of little units of information. Let's keep going. This is awesome. There we go. Look at this. This is how you take that little necklace. Come on. All you girls out there and guys that have a necklace collection, what happens when they get all mixed up? You'll be there forever getting the exact necklace you want, and there's a bunch of these inside the nucleus. So, as a very good organizer, let's wrap them individually so they can't tangle up with other necklaces. Boom! There's the little gene guys we always see. They look like little Y's or 2 Y's together. I don't know why, but check that out. That, trillions of those things. Trillion on the planet today. And then we're going to have to now, where in the information in this cell, because we're going to design it, don't worry, it's going to be a simple cell, but if we can figure out this complex stuff, that'll help us how the simple one did it. So something in there had to command the little proteins, and that's what those little round balls were that you wrap the necklace up in. Those are proteins. Something has to order. What if you had, let's make it easy. It's an easy cell. There's only 200 whatever little necklaces in there. Only 200 of them. How many little DNA necklace organizers would you need? They had to be produced. They had to come in through that gate. What if you filled up the whole inside of the nucleus with the little fuzzy protein balls? What? No, you can't have that. So something has to regulate how many of those things are in there. What if you don't have enough? Your little DNA necklaces are going to get all wrapped around each other. Okay, more problems. Are you guys scratching your heads yet? It's like, man, Dan, I thought you were going to give us a simple problem, but you were wrong. I like to go after more complex things. Gets our minds working better. Okay, here we go. What's next? Must be it'll get simpler. It has to, doesn't it? Am I seeing cell division starting? Oh yeah, right there. A dividing cell. It says it right down there. It must be simple because, if the evidence is way too complex, that just by natural selection, natural mechanisms, working on chance, mutations, because of course we know this wasn't the first one. This isn't the first life biology, or first biology. So let's see. They would have had to done it some other way because this is complex. How would we? So we're going to look at the complex though, and then we're going to go back and say, well, how would a cell have divided before? Life has to have information in it. Let's see. Okay, that was way too fast because it looks simple. Looks like a couple of pieces of Jello, but we know now, and that's why poor Darwin. Do you think that boy would have come up with the theory that, things just mutated? Life just probably came in a pond. I don't have to deal with abiogenesis. We'll just deal with biology. Let's just deal with biology. So, what did we see there? We saw the genes, which is what we are. That's the information inside of us, inside of you, me, that are a little bit different. But that's what makes us. So now, come on, guys, get your mind around this. They divided. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I can take an axe to a worm and it'll divide, but it's not going to be the same. How are we going to do this here? So, we got some more problems here, guys. Help me out here when I open this up, if you're around, or comment so I can, because not only that, you can see that the whole casing it's in separated. It divided in two? How does that happen? So the genes divided somehow. Now we got the same two sets of them. Okay, that's mind-boggling. But now we've got them in their own little Jello sacks. Therefore, because in those Jello sacks have walls to them, or all the little genetics would have escaped out. Found a cute video of little Maxine, my puppy, when she was small, climbing out of I think it was an 18 tall little playpen. Yeah. So if you do not, so oh man, can you get the complex? I know a lot of you guys are too stupid to know design and stuff, but not your fault. You just don't know about it. But when you act like you do, then yeah, that's kind of stupid. So here we go. So any point in this division, if there wasn't a total wall, solid containing system. Let's go back. Let's see. Yeah, right there. So if one of those linings, I'm looking around, if one of those linings was broken, it would have gushed on out. It'd been Maxine escaping from her little playpen when she was a pup. Wow. So what? We can watch. See though, the complexity here. Now you've got two separate divided groups of genes, and now you can see it's in one big old goo capsule. And you'll see right there in the middle, it started already dividing. Oh my goodness, check this out. Boom! Two separate little gel capsules. Wow. Hold on. Oh, more to wrap our minds around. That was two cells. That was the whole cell dividing. Oh, dear, dear, dear. I thought that, I mean, when I was just looking at it, it looked just like the genes were doing. No, that's the whole cell. That is all this stuff separating, all the little nano machines, all the little, what they call it? The gates? The stuff, the little doors. Wow, let's see. Okay, that looks like somebody just throwing little pieces of pretty mud or something at our necklace there. But those are little proteins. They're actually multiple proteins that have to fit exactly together. Oh man, can you see my problem as a designer and seeing the novel prediction that the invisible things that they saw back then was enough to show our an eternal intelligent designer? We get to peek into something that they would have. It's blowing our minds, and we have had this for what? You tell me, guys. DNA, I think, was in the 60s or 70s. That's an estimate on the host part. But check that out. And you'll see there's like flopping through. And that's inside the cell. So there's a bunch of other stuff too. For our poor brains, they cleaned up so much of the other activity in this cell just so we can see this. Let's see. Okay, then here, that's the one in between there. That's being copied already. And what? Look at, there's another little green asteroid thing coming on in. What's he doing? Boom. He just kicked the other guy off. It's kind of like tug of war. Let's see what I've got here. Billions of these molecular, sorry. You guys can do a video on that one. I'm just so focused on the little machines. Billions of these molecular machines are copying your DNA. Billions. That's how much the U.S. government wastes. Probably, well, in a year, but okay, it's just way too much. Billions of these things are going on. So then we got to go, okay, let's not know. We're going to go backwards. We're not going to go forwards. We got to figure out simple. Back in the day, there only had to be like one of these things come about because, by chance, we're going to say, okay, a simple cell, only one of these things happened. Oh, except for back again, guys, those proteins, again, we'll go back, little review. Our necklace there has the information to build proteins. The little blue colory and green cool little globs are the protein machines that are reading. In this place, they're just copying, but then there's others that will actually read the information to make the proteins that are doing this. Guys, you see our problem there? How do we get simpler? Because you need information. You need information in life, for life. Reproduce something that reproduces itself. That, oh gosh, it's just, wow. Can you see my problem of believing that this evidence we're watching came around by gradual steps over millions of years, when you actually, dirty little secret, Darwin did it. Look at that. We are so far along seeing what would have been invisible things before in nature. Guys, you're without even more excuse. Gene activation by vitamin D? Where did it come from? Was it originally? We got to take that out. So if we take that out, because we need that simple first life to make our cell. I don't care if you guys can figure out how do we make a complex cell without taking apart a living cell and putting it back together or something like that. But I want it just like the God of evolution did it. Chance. But no, we're actually going to put intelligence behind it. So do we need that vitamin D? It said that the vitamin D, it activates the gene. Okay, let's throw that out. We won't need that. It'll still be just as good, and it'll make it simpler. Whoa, what was that little yellow flying thing that just landed on the green thing? It looked like a catcher's mitt. Hey, maybe that green thing on the end is like a catcher's mitt. It just caught the fastball that was heading towards the guy's head. Is that the vitamin D? Others will explain, but it's just cool watching this. Okay, there's our protein machines. The green guy already, he got there first. He must get the points, at least more points. He got there, grabbed on to the DNA. This is how, oh my goodness, how did they do that? How'd they know to land on the DNA right there? Who told it that that's what they needed to replicate? Ooh, this is interesting. Let's go. Whoa, who let him go? And look he's dragging a little RNA behind him. Where's he going with that? That's the transcription. And why'd they stop? The other protein machines are bailing out. Did they finish their job? I think so. But who told them to stop then? Oh, cool stuff. Yeah, you can tell I watched this one before. Ha! Because I actually know stuff of what's going on. Some of the stuff going on. Yes, so the big necklace is the DNA. The little necklace is the RNA, or that's half of the DNA that is getting replicated so it can go off and do something. And again, it could be making a little small protein machine that is going to read the DNA, and the DNA has to be read, but it also needs a protein machine to read it. See how this is getting tough, guys? This is getting tough. And you see all those other little guys floating around. This cell is full of stuff. And we'll see it farther on, is that a lot of that floaties, the little floaties over there, those are going to be new parts of the new DNA. Oh, check this out. This is awesome. Hit. Okay, there's inside. There's the inside that machine. So you can see we've got our double helix, your DNA, the big necklace, and it's in a spiral form to keep it all nice. And then inside the blue thing there is the protein machine that somehow connects onto it. We're only seeing half of it now. We're seeing the inside of those cool looking machines that we saw earlier. And those little floaty guys, that's going to be new informational codes on the new DNA. Is this incredible? And this is real time. That's why I'm keeping it. I didn't want to speed it up, because this is how fast it's going inside the cell, or faster. There's another one that says this is the speed, actually. Okay. Oh, I should have stopped before it got all blurry on us. So the RNA is sitting there. It's the one with the half, because it's already been taken apart. And now these protein goodies here are adding the missing ones to be able to have the full DNA strand again. Yeah, you need both strands of the RNA. Or well, I'm not even going to say, no, I'm not going to get technical on you, because I don't remember for sure. Complicating. We just saw that's the alphabet. And this is scientists telling us that they're using words to describe what they are seeing. So the letters in the alphabet is what they say, because alphabets are information relaying devices. Put them together. As you guys know, I'm not good at putting sentences together, and this is doing it as fast as you saw inside there. Whoa. You can tell when I just say mix up a couple letters in my vocab. See, I just did it again. See right there. How could you understand that? And to think that had to be used to recreate little proteins, they'd be messed up. So there's this one little base pair. So that has the information to something. And our genome, the little things you saw earlier inside the cell, contains 3 billion base pairs. 3 billion, because when you're inside a mama's tummy and your cell starts to divide, it starts to grow different structures, your spine, your nerves, everything. How many, then it is how then we come out with 2 arms, 2 legs. And the reason why we don't have 10 legs and arms, because this information in here stops it. And they go, oh, well, there's people that come out with 3 arms. It's like, that's a bad mutation. If you're an evolutionist, if your belief system is your faith that chance mutations worked on by natural selection has given us this evidence that we're looking at, if the cause you prescribe is chance mutations worked on by the natural selection, 3 billion of those? Come on, guys. See how I'm building my case here. The cause you subscribe, see there? I'm not even saying my words right. I know it is because I hear it in my ear and it's like, that's not the words I'm looking for. You guys have to have the biggest amount of faith to believe that this happened by chance mutations. And yes, that's the foundation of your godless evolution belief system, your faith. And that's why people are like, why do you always say godless evolution? Because if you are a theistic evolutionist, deep time, you believe that God comes in and creates during times. He manipulates what is seen. First life, maybe Cambrian layer, creation of Adam and Eve. So that's why I'm distinguishing godless evolution that thinks this happened by chance. I won't say random anymore. I guess that's out of biologists got smart enough. Oh, let's not use random anymore because that even makes us look worse. Sorry, having this by chance is just as stupid. A conclusion to think that's your cause. Let's keep going. Did I stop that? I must have stopped that. Your cells control access to the genetic code by wrapping DNA around proteins. Okay, that's a good idea because it's kind of a cute little thing. It looks like a little alien with little antennae on it. No. It has to do that because, again, I mentioned a little earlier, this is not me, this is even godless evolutionists, that the information that was needed to form the baby in the womb has to stop. And it will wrap itself around, and it's called epigenetics. It's above the genetic code that will regulate what's going on. So not only the DNA has the information for developing a baby inside its mom's tummy, that DNA also has the instructions to stop it. Can you imagine if the baby just kept growing? For 9 months, that baby could be the size of a little elephant if it divided on the same rate as the little baby, because it's every, I don't know, I'm going to try. You guys can look it up. If you hear noise, I'm plugging in the charger. You guys were probably cheering, thinking my computer would die. You wouldn't have to hear me anymore. But you're out of luck. If you don't want that, you got to push the off button yourself. But this is too awesome. You know it is. So, regulators. Look at that. Now, could we develop our little primitive cell without DNA regulators? That's something above my pay grade, I think. That's why I got to have help, guys. I can see the design in here. I can see what it's doing, but I need a materialist to get to that primitive. Because, guys, okay, dirty little secret. Like I told you, we are going to make a little trilobite, coolest little creature, don't you think? From the Cambrian layer, all the body type, all those complex systems within itself. Man, so I let it out again. We got to figure out this cell so we can figure out how to make my trilobite. And again, we don't have to do it. No, guys, don't go crazy. Don't go drink alcohol, drugs, whatever, because you're thinking of the ones with the complex eyes. No. I ain't going there. It's going to be complicated enough just to do the simple little guy without the trilobites with those complex eyes. No, because you didn't have billions of years to develop those. Okay, here we go. That was a belief of the host. Don't take it to the bank. Don't. And you can do a video if you want it. You guys are so much fun. But let me know if you're gonna make another video of me, man. I've seen a bunch of videos out there that are focused. It's one of the fallacious arguments. Sounds like delicious, so I'm saying it wrong, I'm sure. You guys know what I mean. Is that you guys are seeing something like this and you say, oh, Dan said it was 10 trying this and that. See, he's an idiot. Well, yeah, Dan's an idiot, but you got to address the evidence. My being an idiot is not the evidence. What we're watching is the evidence. And I know, and that's why I'm telling you, because that's not going to be excuse when you're on judgment day trial. And you're going to say, but Dan was an idiot. And God's going to remind you that Dan said, don't listen to Dan. Just watch this and you explain it. You explain it how this can come by chance. Okay, here we go. Man, even as... Oh, more stuff. Uh-oh, you guys read that. Nucleosome proteins? What? What are they throwing at us now? Do we need those? Can I just fast forward? Do we need those in our simple cell? This is getting way too much. Somebody hopefully who doesn't have a designer brain. I need you guys that are just like encyclopedia, brainless people that'll just suck up information, because now you guys have it for me, so I can say, hey, encyclopedia, do we? Yeah, and you recant it. So your cells control access to the genomic code by wrapping DNA around. Whoa. Time out. Is that red line? I'm not even going to look because I'll mess up. You guys just got to look through the red line if that's down there. Your cells control access to the genetic code. Wait a minute. Now these... Okay, this can't be a scientist guy. This has got to be... I'm sorry, Mr. Drew. DNA animation. It's awesome. Trying to see where it's from. Oh, it's a TV show. Hopefully not like a news media. You guys look it up. Sorry, I don't have the information. Mr. Drew Barry and Suko Uno TV. You guys have done an awesome job with this. I believe you, because I've seen other things, and even with the real pictures of what the cells are doing. I mean, If you guys are frauds, you got me. Sell me a bridge next time. So, now they're saying the cell controls access. See what our problem here is, people, is that you're telling me that this all came by chance mutations. That we had that simple cell, and it's chance mutations. Okay, no, I forgot. I'm sorry. DNA mistakes, copying mistakes. But then again, if you say it's a copying mistake, then you've already got these protein machines copying. So that's not a good. So to begin with, it would have had to been all just mutations, right? See the problem we have here, guys, and see how the problem that our poor abiogenesis scientists have, because you have to think and know what life is, because that's the biology. Life is the biology, and abiogenesis scientists are trying to make biology. And dang, they are controlling the access. Now that's what I was kind of saying, because then it's not me. I've gone through a lot of this stuff, and so when I recount it, as you guys know, the brain of the president here, full of stuff inside this brain. But this is one of them. So the cell controls access to the genomic code. Okay, so that's when you're a little baby. Now they're saying the cells control. The cells control. They probably are typing like I do and didn't put the little that little line between the L and the S to make it the cells control, like the control of the cell. Either way, then where is he at? If you look at one of those giant cranes that are picking up pieces of bridge, putting them in there, picking up big buildings, you'll see that little dude inside the capsule there controlling it all. The driver. Is there one of those inside the cell? We know there's not. But there has to be something. Yeah, let's go. This is killer. Okay, this is what I was telling you about earlier, is that when they show us a strand of DNA or a protein machine or those little gates, the entrance and exit to the cell nucleus, this is what it looks like, though, because you can barely see it because there's so much stuff inside that cell. Let's go here. Epigenetics. You heard that word from me, the dumb guy, because I've looked into this stuff. I created epigenetics. No, I didn't. So, epigenetic control. So this is epigenetic, just repeating what I heard, above the genetics. So there's something controlling the DNA that's not the DNA, it's above it. It's a separate control. We've gotten to our control system. It's old Mr. Epi. Which I'm not going to say again because that reminds me of an EpiPen, and that reminds me of something stabbing into somebody's leg, especially my leg. I ain't going there. So that controls what? Now we've got. Can we take away Epi? Because that's kind of complicating to think there's something. Now, who made Epi? Is that also somewhere in the DNA code? What controls the DNA, but hopefully it just came from outer space somewhere, and we can boop, because anywhere making our little trilobite guy, we can bring stuff from outer space by aliens. That'll work if that's the way it was. Let's go. What? adding epigenetic tags. And what's a tag? You're it? So epi, let's see. Because from what I understand, because it's so complicated, it really is complex, dudes. This isn't something that is easy. So, but the epigenetics controls the genetics, which then made the epis? Okay, here we go. But anyway, they're tagging it. You're it. Whoa! So and I got this word last time wrong, tagged nucleosome. Probably got it wrong again. You read it for yourself. Tagged, that thing releases the DNA. What? Did it have it? Was the DNA held against its will? So the epigenetics is controlling. So that other thing we saw was simply just reproducing the DNA, and it didn't show us the epi there. So it took the epigenetics to release the DNA so it could be transcribed or whatever else it does. See it, guys, as a designer builder, I want to go back to designing a sprinkler system. I want to design a water feature that you wouldn't be able to tell, or a garden that you see inside of a metal tin building with concrete floors, and you look at my garden and you would say, whoa, this looks like it came straight out of nature. Though I did some complex designs, but nothing like this. My goodness. I'm a simpleton like all human beings. Wait a minute. I didn't remember this one. Region of released DNA available for gene transcription. Are you getting this, people? The evidence we have is that there's something above the genetics that controls the genetics so it doesn't go crazy and blow up every cell because it puts too much stuff in. Have you ever wanted to put more jelly inside of a jelly donut? Now, if I was a jelly donut maker, most of mine would be blown up because you got to have just the right amount and not too little. If you don't have too much stuff, it's going to be blah. And so inside the cell, it has to have just enough of the protein machines, just enough of the DNA strands. Crazy tunes. Come on. What? What's that red guy? I guess he's maroon. Nucleosome sliding? Is this like going into home base or second base? Well, let's see. No way. So the little cotton ball in the middle that's holding the DNA necklace so it doesn't get tangled up had the information that was needed for something, because that little maroon dude just slid the DNA. So now the exposed part that used to be nice and coiled on the cotton ball thing, proteins, is exposed so it can be. Is that what it just said? Come on, guys. Help me out. Well, you can't help me out because I'm just, you can see, laser focused, no rabbit trails, but we'll have it open pretty quick. Oh, we're coming to the brains. I won't be mean right now. Inactive DNA. Inactive DNA. That is what they used to call junk. Because Richard Dawkins, well known, respected biologist, said that a bunch of this is called inactive, but in the day it was called junk DNA, proves that we're related, and that would have been ancestral, unwanted DNA that is no longer used. But then, of course, once the Genome Project came out and they said, oh, no, there's not really that much junk in there. There's actually DNA that is, and this is calling it inactive. That's a pretty cool term. It's like sleeping, like I want to do right now, take a nap, because it was either already used up in the initial process of the baby growing inside the womb. Maybe these guys are creating things to heal some, make antibodies. I don't know what all this, maybe this contains these cells making, dividing, who knows what it's for. Wow, let's see. I did it now. What'd I do? Let's stop there. That's too much already. Oh, I get a discount. For what? Oh, what? Don't cash a check. I forgot to turn off. Oh, wait a minute. That's not it. He's getting something free. Oh, there he goes. Oh, it was amazing? Okay, you're amazing guy. He got a discount. I forgot to turn that off. Surprise, surprise. We have been going an hour and 8. You guys probably, if anybody's there's 39 comments. So if anybody wants to join me, because that was an awesome, you can see how I can go you guys know I go down rabbit trails, but I was good. I was so good. Except for no, if I would have invited you, we would have gone on so many rabbit trails. But if there's somebody here, let me see. Uh-oh, that's the wrong thing. What'd I do? I don't know. I'm supposed to be inviting somebody. Invite a guest. What if I don't want you? Oh, that's what I did. Okay. Of course I want you. I love you. Let's see. Did I invite you? Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. I think, man, I'm still seeing all those little machines going. Gotta go here. Here we go. Let me invite you if this works. If not, I get to go take a nap. Oh no, Gemma's got plenty of stuff for me to do. Wait a minute, where are we? How come that looks funny? There we go. Enter at your own risk to tell me how what we just saw. That was evidence. That's just evidence. I gave a little commentary, mostly neutral, mostly was just explaining what we were seeing or trying to explain what we saw. So I need, though, and of course, I'm going to look at that and say, wow, how did that happen? How could that have happened by chance mutations? Because I'm going, okay, that. Okay, no, let's go. Because we're trying to get back to the first life. And so all that stuff we wouldn't have had on First Life. You guys got to admit, come in here and tell me anybody to show everybody, hey, missing mod, why don't you join me? Because you can at least tell me, you can link up some of those proofs of evolution, not the ones you're going to show in Premiere. And I don't want to see new ones because I don't want everybody to not be surprised on your show. But can anybody tell me how that could have been done without a designer creator? Let me see. Is anybody even here still? That and nothing else. As you can tell, I was having fun, and that's all that matters. I was getting more and more only tools in the chat. Tools? I'm in chat right now, guys. So, yep, there it is. There's the invitation. There is my beautiful wife, who she's liking me having shows. Then she doesn't, I'm hidden in this room, and so she doesn't have to look at me and say, oh my gosh, why isn't he working? Okay, there's still 7 watching, it says. Anybody here, and you can repost here in the chat if you have questions. The chat on the live room stream is I can only see 3 of them, and then it's hard to get back to the old ones. So if anybody, and then make a noise if you join me backstage, because I'm in a different room. I'm actually back on YouTube. Missing mod. I have slam dunk proof of evolution. Dan, believe what? Even evidence that all that complexity could have happened, but by chance though, mod? Well, I know I saw those, but okay, those things were so stupid looking. The people who dressed those little puppies or the puppies show that there's not huge brains behind either one of them. So is that where you're coming from, mod? Achilles loves us all. Well, I love you. I won't say everybody loves you. Is that Achilles the great? What? Is my tech guy out there and he's abandoned me through the show? Oh, I see how it is. Just because I abandoned him yesterday. This morning, I was at church this morning, so I did see the advertisement. So I just put I didn't even put my face on. Lucky you guys. I should do that again right now. Oh, it's too late. I don't want to go over there. P9 here. Achilles. Robin told you to P9? Is that like a bingo game with a different name? Achilles, Achilles, I'm the one here talking. What do you mean, hello, ladies? Just because I was talking about necklaces early, I know what it is. What else we got here? Achilles, have you seen Mod's evolution evidence? Are you ready to become but Mod, is it a godless evolution or a theistic evolution that God just popped in through time and did some of his awesomeness? No questions. Uh-oh. Claude was here to begin with. He probably was tired of looking at actual evidence that his poor little brain cannot. Okay, we read that Romans thing. Everyone's without excuse because there's no way you can look inside that cell and say, like, well, that evidence could be that there was a creator designer. Mod, I've got the technology.
I'm here. I'm
How
here
did he
for
get there? I thought he wasn't. Where
I'm
is
here for the
he?
evidence.
Hello, Achilles.
Where
So
is
I'm
the
behind
evidence
here. He
for
must.
evolution?
Oh my gosh. We did cell duplication. And you keep off your camera because I don't want that half. Which way?
The other way. Always
I
the
don't
other way.
want I don't want that half of the cell to look prettier than this cell part.
If you want it to be uglier, I can turn on my camera. It's gonna.
No. Oh, thank you.
It might
I
take
would
the
look
stream down.
uglier. I would look uglier if we. Well, of course. Um,
So where is the evidence? I heard there's evidence for evolution after all that you've shown. People still think that random mutations
Mod. Now
ended up to all that. And what about the intermediate stages until we end up to that?
Mod, you gotta join us just to show us a couple of your
But
previous.
I know where Maud's coming from.
You saw her cute little chihuahuas and the
It's a
dog.
state. I don't want to name it, but that's where she's coming from.
You know what? I should have had that. I had the cute little video of Maxine escaping from her kennel. I got into an old YouTube channel I had that I lost with when my phone when my phone was broken, and I was finally able to recover one of the channels. There's my main one I still can't get to, and that's why you guys are still seeing Gemma's account, and
That's why I said hello, ladies.
did it? Am I on Gemma's account right now? No, I'm not. Am I?
I don't know. People keep changing
Yes.
as the song goes, and I don't feel the same.
But now, as did you get much into biology, or were you more into engineering?
I loved biology when I was young, but then I got into the biology that we humans created. So it was one of my favorite classes, biology. And to be absolutely honest, that all changed when we got into anthropology, which is the physiology of the body of humans. I didn't like that much as I did about plants, cells. I don't know. Too many bones to remember. But yeah, other than math, biology was my next best.
Oh, I have a video I wanted to show. I just dug this one up. So unrelated, but this is a video on design principles and a teaching video, and people will just love for this one. Let me get it up there. Wish this thing came quicker. We'll put him so we can see. Uh-oh, wrong way. So I like to.
Let me share a very quick video before you
Oh,
do.
okay. Let me take that one.
Mine's just seconds.
Yep, no problem. But look at that, people. Premier Dinosaur Adventureland. That's the front gate in 2019. So let me get that one off of there. Remove from screen. All yours, Achilles.
Playing already. Wait. Alrighty. Chrome tab, audio. Here we go. Did I select it right? I did. Let me full screen it too. I don't know if you've seen this, but
Hey, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. Hey, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning line to Louisiana South.
I think that dog. I think that dog finally at the end was like, "Would you knock off making fun of me?" But actually, it didn't because dachshunds don't have brains. But
And
well,
we don't know. We don't know why they're shaking their tail. We don't know if it's a thing of a mental process or if it's something with their spine when they're happy that it's happening. And, and yeah, we still want to go to Mars, but we don't even know why dogs shake their tails. But
no, and it's Oh, wait a minute! I didn't say hi to Robin. Hi, Big Bad Mama. How many wives
hey,
ago
awake
was that? Hi, awake.
and
Um,
BBM.
this looks like a mod video. See, I told Mod she should come in, but we had to take it. We had
It's
to go.
funny. It's funny. You've been going on for 1 hour and a half, and the minute you mention something about Ken Hovind, Big Bad Mama pops in the chat. Man,
Well, oh hi, Big Bad Mama. No, it's hard, and again, we just have evidence. Then, but what caused what we see? And so that full hour. Okay, it wasn't a full hour. It's only a 7-minute video. So, you know, um, a big part of it was me just like going crazy over trying to figure out how that's done, how it could be reproduced. So yeah, now we'll get some people actually wanting to engage because they can't, just like the scripture novelly predicted, they don't want to look at that evidence and then go, whoa, that popped in by chance. And again, from
boom, BBM.
First Life, and I recommend everybody going here. BBM was there too, I think, wasn't he? When were
Where?
you there, BBM? Wasn't BBM there?
Um,
BBM, were you at Dinosaur Adventureland? Mod?
well, at some point, Mod had a poll, and I looked at the options, and what that was one option, which was like, I don't, I don't even care for the poll. I just have a hovering board. It was one of those guys. I love that. I love that.
21. I was in DAL in 19. So,
No,
man,
what?
we could have met there if things were different. So, check this out. This is
Wait, wait,
on
wait, wait,
design.
wait, wait. Wait, did you read 2019 there?
No. I said I was there in 2019
Oh, okay.
with just a difference in a couple years. And so this was a video I did and that I just refound that shows some design techniques. What we're looking at, because of the evidence I know, what plants need, what they are by studying them, we can um, we can devise cool stuff. Oh, what am I doing? Now I got to, oh, wrong one. Okay, this one. Here we go. Sword.
I'm like that dog in the video.
What a cool place. I got to start up here. I guess a couple. Now, Big Bad Mama, was that paved when you were there? So this is coming in. That's the science center. The white door there was, I
Yeah,
think.
you
Yes,
should
sir.
go work. You should go work there and do some gardening, fix the whole area. Like it's so much that you can work with.
Well, actually, that's why, and you'll see what I was doing. I think we were there a day or two, but it's like I'm not an independent fundamental. I am a chicken eater, and so if I would have loved and I'd offered it, but like so many people have complained about, I did have a choice. Everybody has a choice. They don't have to stay. Well, they'd be homeless. They'd be homeless anyway. They came here. A lot of these people, drugs, problems. It was only themselves. But anyway, besides that, and it was cool, and because this is where I got to be with Dr. Hovind, because this was just before one of the boot camps. Well, 2019 boot camp, and so the white door, I believe, because I don't see another one. One of those doors. Anyway, the one to the farthest to the right door is to the bookstore at that time. And then the other side, I don't even know what it was, but I helped him till like 11 at night or more, because and that's what I'm saying. The boy is a workaholic, and I love it because I'm a workaholic too. So now a door to the left of the bookstore, we totally changed and made it the entrance to the science center. I don't even know where it used to be. All I know, at 11 o'clock, Kent was like, let's move day one of creation, and let's do, yeah, I think it was one of the creation days. I don't know what was in there, but all I know is up to 11 o'clock, moving stuff out of there, setting up for an entrance. So you had the secretary, whoever it was, the person that greeted you was behind, so it was cool. But I did see Dr. Hovind just like on steroids. Just awesome. Oh no, let me take back. Oh gosh, that's going to be a clip. Steroids defined as somebody who is just very, very hyper without chemicals. So anyway, that was awesome. I got to see that time because right then, and actually one of the reasons, and you'll see farther up when we go on, the person that he had in charge of the landscape was a person that admitted they were there on therapy. And so
Okay.
to me, I knew that wasn't going anywhere.
Well, you know what though? Now that you, I, I see what you're saying, but I would more, I would see you more as somebody in charge of a team that does all that for therapy, or not the person that you used to be like 20, 30 years ago and being out there and digging and carrying rocks. No, but it could be a department of having like 3, 4 people do the job, and you design it and they do it for you for
Well,
PAL. I mean.
that's been the dream, kind of a little call that now that I'm older, I have heat stroke pretty bad. If I get out in the sun, not a good space, because then I just get exhausted and usually go to sleep. And I read it and it's just Google. Don't quote me, people. I didn't check it. I didn't talk to a doctor, but they say sometimes if you fall asleep from heat stroke, you don't wake up again. But anyway, so no, in a designing something. This is actually awesome. You look in here, that's the front gate that I'm coming from, and you see the main attraction, which is the Science Center. Cool. Now, up here by this palm tree, yeah. Well, actually, probably on the left side, because I think that was Doc's house or something. I don't remember what it was. But right there on this side of the van should be a huge dinosaur. So when you come in the gate, you're not seeing the house. But actually, I think now the main gate, now that I'm thinking about it, is over to the right-hand side. And I think it was then too. So still, it would be good because you can, where that gate was that I entered, that's where you drive by. And so that should have been screened off, or at least having some focal points so that you could still see the Science Center, but you're not going to see so much of the house and the white van there and the car and stuff, because you're seeing it on the way in. So that's the first, this I believe, and so I'm already correcting myself. I think this is about from outside on the road what you saw when you came in. But let's see. So I'm going to teach, and this is a teaching on principles of permaculture. Permaculture being an um, old time way of cultivating plants. And here we go. Couple years we've been here, and this is our first time here. A lot of fun things to do down in the science building and big things. You'll have to watch his videos on that. But what I came to do is help mulch. You'll see here, and there's an older camera. I think Claude. Oh, if Claude really was able to watch that video and not have the fallacy of, well, the experts tell me that all could have happened by chance, then he'll be an awesome, because he's been deceived, just like you and I were, Achilles, when it's like, oh my gosh, I've been deceived all my life. That's why, man, I'm in full gear to give out the message. And so here you got fence line. There's our famous dry county road. What an embarrassment to any county, even Alabama. And so they did do some planting here. They try to do different species to show the changes, the different mutations that can happen, or in plants, it's a lot easier. They're not as restricted. So we see right there about 3 roses, I believe, if not 4, and different roses. Now, so as a designer though, and I'm gonna look at, oh, that's very cool. Then though you look at it and you see the picture there, that I believe is the rose. Might not be, but there is a climbing rose they put out in the middle. And so anybody knows a climbing rose is going to get huge, should be on the fence. And the little guy over there, and we'll get going now. This is about the principle of soil, and I plan on my dream is a horticulture school where we can teach people how to actually do something that gets a job, or at least they're better in their own yard, feeding themselves, having beauty in the yard. I saw Missing Maud's yard. It looks like she's already taken my courses, because I have done little seminar courses. And but here we go. Oh, are you not hearing it? Okay, I just hit play again. It's and the volume's up. Can you look in comments? Can people hear that? And this is one of my first videos I did, so forgive the Dramamine moments you'll see. But this is on mulching. Mulch being a organic, any kind of organic matter. They had a lot of hay, that's why we used it, but it kind of looks funky. So for the aesthetics, we use chips. People use um, barks. You can use gravels, although gravels are not going to hold in the moisture like your organic matter mulches will. Anybody see if they could hear that? Um, Achilles, or are you looking at that? You're doing your tap. I think it's a name tag. I had recommended, and I think they already did it, putting some names on posts. So the one I showed with the rows, they're just on a little elastic string. And so I actually had looked up signs. It'd be like a like an arboretum, which is what they were kind of wanting to do, and what I would have been like totally on board for. And are we getting a lot of comments, or is my screen just going crazy? Um, anyway, can everybody hear that when I was doing it? What is going on? Oh, I had a whip. Oh, Loban, did you? Oh, it's not. Okay, okay, Loban, don't.
Oh, I wasn't. I don't know how long I wasn't on stage.
Yeah, so Loban, don't. Unless Lupin he says something,
What did Lupin
uh,
do?
cussing words, don't time
Where?
some.
I see
No,
the I see the chat and I don't see that.
I see. Claude got timed out. Oh, you guys don't time people out on my show unless they're cussing.
Okay, but where? As I don't see that.
I don't know. Am I in the right place? Yeah, I'm in the right place. Okay, let me go back to that. Sorry, Claude. Um, yeah, unless there's cussing, and leave them be. Let's see. Okay, so I need to go back to this. So I need to reshare it.
Maybe.
Maybe nobody even told you were Stephen, get in here and help me, and then you wouldn't have time to time people out. Whoever did it, I don't even know who did it. I'm
She's
just
not
talking.
timed out there.
Oh, good. Um, did okay. I'll just reshare it, and then if somebody tells me, and Stephen, you could, or whoever's out there, can see if it was still making having the sound go, because of course, Killy's got other things to do rather than important stuff.
I'm
So
ready here.
what?
I'm ready here.
No, I said, but you don't have time to go look out in the audience to see
Oh, I
if.
checked it out, and no, there was no audio on YouTube. There was at the beginning, but then I don't know where it went.
Okay, we'll reshare it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna share this. Sorry, people. My usual professional job has been. Okay, just shut up and let me do this. Okay. Oh, good. Let's see.
Let's try
Okay,
it
I
out.
better stop
Are
we
we
there.
hearing?
I
Yeah.
look professional. There's flowering trees, flowering bushes. There, proof that Gemma and Philip were there. Gemma was watching Philip. He was like 6 years old. You can see he's already climbing on the dino machine. There's a dinosaur machine. And so I don't know where they got them. So when we came today, there was a little bit of mulch on it, like this, planted in some good organic matter. So we put on the straw, which will help the mulch. And then we're going to put a little chips over top of them so it doesn't look like the goat pen after they've eaten. So they just got some chips from the county or somebody. Got some sticks in with it. Just a minute, bug. And then, so we got the straw down. And then we'll put a small layer of the chips over top. So that way, here we've got that section down there, how much nicer it looks. But chips going to hold in the water as they decompose. They're going to give a lot of nutrients to it. The straw, the only drawback is this looks like grass straw, weed straw, and it probably has a lot of weed seeds in it. So when this goes down, it'll even make more chips. All right, here we go. Yep, I cut a lot of pine trees. These are all those pine trees, which are going to give tons of nice, whatever they are. Haha.
Is that the draw weight?
Trees. All right. Is it the what?
Awake seems to be in the room, but we're not sure because I don't see the picture yet. If you are, you're muted. Even if you're not, you're still muted.
Of it for us to do. There, yes, sorry. Thank you, Achilles. So that was good enough, that. Okay. Get that out of there. Welcome.
Awake. You are muted. Oh, private chat. I can't hear anything. Is it the video or me? Yeah, I think you might have to come back in. Oh, Dan left. Dan pulled the Steven on us. So it's me and you. Oh, it's like the good old days. You can't hear though. Yeah, let me write it in the chat. So I'll continue the designer show. I haven't planned for it, but it's very easy. Everything is designed by God. Evolution is a joke. Everything they tell us is a joke. Oh, Dan's back. I was enjoying this, but you can have your show back.
Oh, yeah. Dan trying to get rid of the sound in the background. X'd out myself on the show. Everybody now, and that was pretty mean of you guys, because I kicked myself off, but at the same time, I could still hear you guys going, "He's gone! He's gone!" That wasn't very nice. Okay, let me. In case the link is gone again. Central feed. There you go. All right. If that doesn't get somebody in here, I just gave the link again.
Oh, that was quicker than me. Right. Good.
Well, what? Sorry. Awake. Hopefully, I didn't boot you too when I booted myself. But definitely come on in. Any people with experiences, even.
What I've realized is that Chrome works the best with Emacs. Oh,
what? Oh, we both did it. Welcome, Awake.
I can hear you now this time.
Okay.
All right.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Oh.
How's your day?
It was great. Had a really good day. Went to church. Had our first missions meeting, our first world missions meeting. Our church, well, it ended up being 2 hours. It was supposed to be 3 hour. Well, they make a 3 hour block for our training because we have 6 training sessions before we go to Costa Rica. And then ended up only being 2 since it was our first one. Our church didn't have a missions group. And so this is very fresh. So this is what we've been calling the first wave of world missions. So it went really good. We got a lot of information out. We have a lot more information to go over, but I got a couple of different questions asked, and I'm just really, really excited about Costa Rica and seeing what happens with our missions trip in the future. Because my church, their vision is to make something called a renewed village, where we build a little village for people in various different places around the world, including a little village locally for missionaries and homeless and single moms and things like that. So this is kind of the beginning of that. And this is going to be more of an exploratory mission trip that we will be helping locally. You know, there's a building project, feeding kids, and various different things. But anyways, then we went to the trampoline park. So now I'm going home.
2 grand slams in one day. That's
Yes,
awesome. No,
yes,
and
it's been a really fun day.
Yeah, but I have a weird thought.
Uh
How's your leg injury?
huh.
Your
It's doing a lot better. I fell again and twisted a little bit again, but it's not as bad. So I
trampoline is
I've been
not.
very careful on the trampoline.
Ah,
I'm trying to rebuild my muscle. So if you could just see me jumping on that trampoline, I probably look really funny because I'm barely jumping. Um,
okay, it's
but
not.
I'm doing just enough to try and, build up those muscles in that ankle, because it's probably going to be a couple of months before it's fully stabilized again.
Yeah, do me a favor. Don't trampoline again with that ankle. Like it's not helping at all. It's not. It's not helping the muscle. And there
It's
are.
one of the exercises that. So when I've torn that ankle twice. First was a first grade tear, and second was a second grade tear. And after the second grade tear had healed, but I still had a lot of really bad instability. Um, One of the exercises was to go on something that gave in, so that I could kind of practice putting weight on that. And trampoline was something that I used. The doctor kind of was like, it's maybe not the best, but if you can do it and not get hurt. So I realized that there's a risk for it. That's why when I say I'm barely jumping, I really mean I'm barely jumping. And it's just
Okay.
me. Only one
Okay.
person per trampoline. And it's like a floor trampoline. They're built into the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That makes
Okay.
sense. I don't know if you've never been to a trampoline park.
Oh, I've been,
It might
and
be.
I love
Have
it.
you? Okay, yeah. I did start going a few years ago, but before I had ever been, I had just imagined like yard trampolines, and a lot of them.
Hmm.
I didn't expect them to be built into the floor. So it was less fun. Unfortunately for Kyle, he dislocated his knee when we went last week on the trampoline.
See?
Yeah. And he walked around with it partially out of place for 2 days before he finally got it in all the way. So he's not tramping. Well, yeah, he fell, and that's how he got it all the way back in,
Mm.
to be more specific.
Oh.
We're just a bunch of old broken joint people here.
Um,
Baby, calm down. My kids
ankle,
are yelling the time to each other.
ankles and knees are the two parts of our body that take a long time to heal. So don't force
Yes.
it. Keep it protected most of the times. Can you get a boot? You have one?
Yeah, I have a brace, and then I have an ace bandage. So I haven't used the brace, but I have been using the ace bandage on and off. So when it comes to the brace, I try not to use it, because
Yeah,
there's an issue with the brace, is that your body will kind of become dependent on it if you use it too much.
yeah, yeah.
And that was a thing that happened to me in the past with my ankle and my wrists. When I was a server, I used to basically live in a brace with my wrists because of holding the type of serving job I did. We held all the, some servers, they have like a little table they bring their things on. Not us. We had a giant serving tray about as tall as I was, and you carried a lot of food on that thing. So, um,
It's
but ace
true.
bandages are my friend.
Yeah, what you said about the brace is true. It weakens the muscles. So when you take it off, the bones and everything else takes all the weight. So you have to
Yeah.
be careful with the brace.
hmm When I
But if
go to
you,
Costa Rica, I'm going to wear the bracelet. Like, I don't really have a choice. I have to wear the brace because um my ankles are just too weak. Like when I'm on the trampoline, I'm really focusing on my ankle. When I'm in Costa Rica, I'm not going to be able to focus on my ankle. I'm just going to need to walk and build and do whatever it is that I'm doing. So I'll have to have
plus
a
the
good
airplane,
good brace.
walking, yeah, and walking in the airport and all that, you're gonna strain it a lot if you don't wear it.
Well, I just walk a lot anyway, so
Yeah, and that's
I've
the
got a very high pain tolerance.
well, that can be bad though, because that's what I've done before with I got bad ankles, and the wrist too. And the thing with braces and back is that you use it when you can feel you've gone too far. So you're
Yep.
strengthening, you're doing good, but if you feel it, then put it on so you don't have more major um, trauma, and then but make sure then you take it off. Don't wear it in bed,
hmm
um, so that you can, yeah. But it's a combination because people are like, oh, I'm not going to wear a back brace. It's like if your back is sore, put on the back brace. Don't always put it on. Don't have it as a piece of jewelry. But if you feel yourself getting sore, put it on. Um, and right now I've lost mine, so I've gone beyond the point that I
Ooh,
should
that
be
stinks.
having my back brace on again. But awesome. Do want to point out just the thing of missions anywhere that's the commission, and so cool that I see the move of the Spirit all over the country to actually do what Jesus said: go into your community, to your homes first, your Jerusalem, then the outer area, Galilee or whatever he said next,
Yeah.
and then the world. And if it was what Jesus wanted us to do, and you will be so rewarded. And it's so fun because just today we had a sermon because our church for I don't know how many years have been going, learn, grow, go. I think there's something else in there, connect, fellowship, but then go. And and I feel and
hmm
see that all over the country in more mass. Before, somebody like, yeah, they're a missionary. We all should be missionaries. We all should go somewhere. When we go, instead of like, oh, I'm going to go to Hawaii, go to Costa
Yeah.
Rica. Go to Costa Rica where you can actually help people. It's just awesome.
So when are you going away?
Yeah. April,
Oh, you're breaking up.
April 2nd to the 9th.
Oh, I heard the
Oh,
9th.
I'll be breaking up for a minute or two.
Did you say
That
March 9th?
this April.
Oh, April. Okay.
Awesome. I'm jealous.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Oh, she broke
she,
up that much.
she
I would
broke
just
up for good.
going.
She's back. No,
So
she's not back.
April 9th. I didn't touch it this time. I just let you control it. So and that's such a good thing. And
Hello,
I
Gigi.
how I got broken into it was we used to have a youth mission to Mexico every year. And so I was a youth leader at the time, and we'd go down and help different churches in Mexico. And it was just totally cool. But we're just saying today in our little Bible study, you can put it on.
Okay. I was waiting for your permission.
There we go. Yeah, because we both do it at the same time. So it's like you're faster, really. I think you put people on and I take them off. So
I'm
wait.
quicker in kicking them out than putting them in. I'm
So
the lucky
April,
look of kicking people out
I
or banning
know,
them. Quicker than my shadow.
but we're not having any, and like I said, it's just people, accuse me, oh, you're too goody goody, you don't want cussing. It's like, no, I've got them all. I know every cuss word. Well, not in different languages. I
Ha!
wasn't even interested in
I
that.
can school you.
Yeah, you could, because most people are like, oh, I know Spanish, and then they say a bunch of words and they go, Yeah, those are all cuss words. Like, people call me a retard. Why would you just get a language to do curse words? That's stupid. Anyway,
Uh, I can
um,
I can cuss out all the cussing Greek words, and YouTube won't even notice.
yeah,
I
probably
just
not.
read
That is a
That's
talent.
funny.
That is a
That's the only
talent.
Spanish my husband knows is cuss words
Yeah.
and some construction stuff and plumbing stuff, but that's it.
Oh well, a construction guy, and that's why I know the words. I'm not offended by them. I have them out of my brain, and I don't want them back in. I need more.
I try not to use them, though I still cuss sometimes,
Oh,
I'm still fighting that.
we're
But
human.
yeah. I used to cuss like a sailor. And it's like when I see my old Facebook posts back when I used to cuss the way that I did, I'm honestly I'm embarrassed because I I didn't just cuss. Like I cuss way too much. I'm not exaggerating when I said like a sailor. It was just too much. And then I realized over time, and this is my perspective. Some people have a different perspective. Like my husband, for example, he disagrees, but I and mind you, he cusses too. But when you cuss a lot, I don't mean just like your occasional cuss, but when you cuss a lot, it's just anger. Like even if you're not angry, even if you're the type of person who cusses like when you're excited, like, oh, that's effing cool. I feel like there's a little bit of anger behind every cuss word. Otherwise, why are you cussing, And even if you don't mean to sound angry or come off angry, if you just like cuss in your day-to-day speech, it just sounds really mean, you know? And I don't want to sound like that anymore. Though I'm not perfect, so I'm not judging anyone out there.
Plus,
Yeah, exactly.
you have to be a good example. You have two souls looking up to you.
Yep.
So
Amen. I made the mistake of I taught my oldest. So I was taught a specific way, and so I taught my oldest the same way until we came to God. And so what I was taught and what I in turn taught my son was that you can cuss, but you don't cuss around adults. That you have respect for your elders. You don't cuss around adults. You don't cuss in churches. You don't cuss at school. You don't cuss at work. That there was a time and a place for cussing. And don't cuss around your parents, even if you're an adult. My mom don't like hearing me cuss, and I'm 34. So I did teach my son that, and so he did pick up the habit of cussing from being in a family of cussers, and then being taught that. And he's been trying, and he's working on that, and that's I got to take it. Yes, you are. That's because you never cussed as much as I did, right? No cussing, no. Not a competition. Actually, if it were a competition, you win because you cuss less. So, stay happy. There you go. Or we reverse competition. Nope, we're not reversing it. My youngest one doesn't cuss at all, but because he's young and he's didn't. Afraid to cuss.
good
Yeah,
job,
he knows.
Atlas.
He thinks we teach him that like suck is a bad word. Oh, that sucks. He's not supposed to say that. So
And there's a lot of weight on his shoulders because you named him Atlas, and
yes, yes,
Atlas
very true.
supposedly holds all the world on his shoulders. So good job.
Ooh, excuse me. Oh, where is my flashlight? So I
Dan
have
is playing with the
a.
buttons.
I'm sorry.
Dan is playing with the buttons. Goes back in the chat and brings up comments.
Yeah, because I missed so many because I was so laser focused on the cool
Yeah, but
cartoons.
you have to be careful at the context because this comment by Robin was about awake taking care of or being at the church and planning to go to Costa Rica. But if you brought that up now, as I did, it's like great job with the cussing. So
So funny.
That is totally funny because I'm actually doing it because I'm going through them, so I'm knowing what she was I thought she was. Never mind. Yes, thank you, Achilles. I
So
will.
funny.
You can slap my hand, and I'll
keeping
stop.
order.
Um,
Awake, you were about to say something. We interrupted you.
Yeah, so we have two other different kinds of mission groups that I think that you guys might appreciate. So one, we have a mission group that's for Western North Carolina disaster relief, which Dad won't be here for a while, baby. He's working late tonight. He's got to finish that job. But excuse me. So that one's really cool. I'm not able to go to that one. But then we have another one which I'm actually the leader of. I didn't come up with the idea. It's called Local Missions, and it's about finding volunteer work for the local community. And when we had our first world missions meeting, sorry, not our first our first missions meeting, it wasn't world missions. It was just like all of the missions people came together, and we were like, okay, you want to do world missions? You want to do local missions? You want to do Western missions? But they were like, we need a leader for local missions. And everyone looked at me and pointed to me and was like, her. And I took it as a sign from God. So now I do the local missions. We are only about 2 weeks old, and we've already got 23 people in the group, which is really awesome. And we're trying to connect people with various different organizations. So one of them is a homeless outreach. Another one, which I actually volunteer for this organization too, it's called Birthday Wishes Ministry, and it's about giving birthday gifts to kids who might not otherwise have birthday gifts or maybe don't get a lot.
Well, how big is the church?
So it used to only be like 300 to 500 people, and then we got into our first permanent building. They've been around for 15 years, and they had their first permanent building. And we went from, at that time, and then we were about 500 people then, and we immediately jumped up to 1,200 people.
Yeah, but and
we got big real quick.
And how awesome, because it doesn't matter the numbers. I was just kind of like, whoa, if you get 20, did you say 20 people to do the local?
Yeah, 23, and I foresee a lot more coming. So I'm really, really excited. And there's been a lot more people who have shown interest. And what I find, there's a lot of people who want to do local missions. And I think that the reason why a lot of people don't is it's intimidating. It's intimidating to just like contact a random organization out of the blue, especially in this day and age where we're not as face to face as we used to be. Anxiety is significantly higher than it's ever been before. Excuse that noise. And so it's really about helping people find what organization works best for them and helping kind of push them towards that direction. We have leaders of different organizations coming each month to meet with us to kind of give the rundown of what kind of volunteer opportunities they have, what the scheduling would look like, because that's another big thing is a lot of times when you have volunteer and this is everywhere. If you're ever interested in volunteering locally, what you'll find in most places, if you look up something and it's for helping human trafficking victims, helping foster people, helping recovering addicts, whatever it is, you'll find great descriptions of their organization, maybe even some descriptions of some of the things that they do, but you'll almost never find like, hey, on Saturdays from 9 to 12, we serve food. And Thursdays, we help prepare that food that's going to be served on Saturdays. And on Mondays, we are doing this. You don't find that kind of concrete information that lets you know, like, okay, I have time in my schedule for this. And also it fits my particular abilities. I'm physically capable, or I have the know-how, or I meet the requirements. And a lot of people are too afraid to push to get that information to find out. And so we're trying to get. Go ahead.
And it is time consuming because, and as, it's a new field. I know at our church, I don't know how many years ago now, it's been years, that my daughter had gone up to the pastor and goes, do we have anything for people that, really specific we can volunteer to do work? And he goes, no, do you want to run it? And she said, okay. Again, like you, a call from God. God put it on her heart, there without, somebody to really, they've got so much to do in leadership, and that's a great sign of a church like with yours or mine, that they don't have to control everything. Awake? Yeah,
Yes.
you go do it. We trust you. We see the fruit of the Spirit. And so, again, though, what a witness to the community. We've organized, we got the food bank. Okay, that's easy because it's a Christian-run food bank. But also, we help the parks in our local city. We cleaned them
Oh,
up.
that's great.
It's a we're northern San Francisco, so it's not a Christian stronghold. It's not, and so, but they will call us if there's a need. We had those huge forest fires, 2016, 18, whatever it was, huge forest fires. Our church stopped worship, which is like, church, you got to worship. No, we stopped worship and housed the it was either the forestry or the relief people that came in, and it's just, yeah, for a witness in a community that they would stop their church services because they think it's all about money, and yeah, we still
Hmm.
pay the bills, and usually you get your offerings from people when they're there at church, and just to see how, and I'm just so excited to hear your church doing it too, because I'm seeing, it's not just like sit in the pews, put in your money, you get
Yep,
fed,
exactly.
because guaranteed awake, and I know you're you're getting closer to God by helping somebody else. Now, we pray they get closer to God too, but this is about awake and getting closer to God,
Yep,
accepting the call.
and bringing everyone who becomes a part of it, closer to God and following His will. And it's just so amazing to see the spirit of people. So many people just ready to step up and say, "Okay, I want to volunteer. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I don't know how to do it, but if you're telling me you'll help me, I'm ready. I'm all in." And it's just so great to see so quickly how many people have come together. And I can only imagine, what it's going to look like in a year or 2 years. And I'm probably going to need help with leadership eventually. And I've already had one or two people come up and be like, "Hey, if your plate starts getting full and it starts getting a bit overwhelming with the amount of people, just let me know, and then I'll get involved in leadership." And so I'm developing some, like, I've got like welcome packets and different things, and so now I'm developing some leadership information as well for people who might be interested. I don't know if y'all can hear me walking around and going in on my car a whole bunch, but cleaning my car and looking for things. So I apologize. Actually, it's my mom's car because I'm still dealing with car issues from October. But I apologize for all the noise I'm sure that it's making.
Oh, I was about ready to boot you because my channel, there's nothing but total professionalism allowed. Um, no, I haven't had a problem with it. Awake, no, and it's really really just awesome because and that's why my daughter actually stepped up, because her work was doing something that she was, that kind of stuff that she was in charge of, and then she's been doing a volunteer there's a volunteer ministry that helps foster kids in our area, so
Oh, great.
they'll have um a um they will have a summer camp for foster children, and have, as much as possible, individual counselors, just loving them, being into their life. And, just, and that she was so blessed by it. And that's what actually she was this weekend, was doing some kind of something, loving into the foster care children that are so often, because they are wards of the state, they are just a name and a number, and it's just awesome, that anything is the witness. Our godless city mayor has nothing bad to say about Hessel. And now he won't have anything probably good to say about it because they're Christians, but he calls us.
But no complaints, right?
He doesn't call the Lions Club. He doesn't call, whatever club. He calls Hessel because he knows we will help. Which is
Now, what's the name? It's Hessel.
yeah. It's a little community of Hessel. It was started a little after the 1900s by a school teacher who she started a Sunday school, and then they brought in a missions organization because it was rural community, farm community. It was Sunday. The train didn't stop there, so it was a way to get to a church. It was a ways off, so she started a Sunday school. Then they started a little church, and in the community of Hessel, Hessel.
Cool.
Claude, come on in. Do I need to give you the link?
Read the chat, guys. No, awake. Don't read it because you're driving. So.
Oh, I'm not driving. I've not been driving for a minute. I'm in and out of the car looking for things, cleaning up the mess from the last couple of days. I should say clean up my kids' mess. Looks like a tornado went through the back 2 roads.
It's time for me to wave goodnight and wish you a blessed week ahead.
All right.
It's 3 a.m.
Have a good night, hon.
Exhausted. I'll see you tomorrow.
I bet.
Have a great night. God bless you all.
Yeah, we'll have to get in touch sometime soon. God bless, hon.
Yep. Can't wait. Looking forward. Bye-bye, y'all.
Alrighty. God bless your sleep.
God bless you.
Get in there. Now, Dan, when you go to the Philippines, is there a specific organization that you work alongside, or do you know the local community well enough that you just kind of go there yourself and just, do whatever needs helping with?
No, so it started through my wife's church that she went to, and they have
Cool.
they go into the community. They will feed and give encouragement and the gospel to the poor people in their communities. Some of them are, would be walking. Some of them were like a half an hour walk on, not very good roads to get to church. And so they've started a couple extra churches in the outskirts. And so I was able, when I was there, because, Gemma, when she doesn't get to talk much in, her native language. So she'd go hang out with the family. I wasn't going to sit there asking, now, what did they say? What did they say? And so I'd go help the church. It started out actually on our honeymoon because, Jem was like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. We got this much money and you choose. And she came up with a thing like, hey, what, you want to just use it in my church to go help people out? And it's like, woo! So my honeymoon was out helping to feed people and preach the good news to them. The first place one of the first places I went actually now is a little church they've got going. So I call it kind of my baby church. So every time then we go back to visit, I would tell them, hey, we're coming. Let's plan some stuff. Let's go, minister to people, give them the hope and eternal hope that they're not getting because they're a high percent Catholic. And so many, they're not preaching the hope of salvation. They're preaching works that you got to, do what the Catholic Church says. So much so is that a lot of the people that were going to these Bible studies and the feedings, the Catholic Church was fine with, our church, which is a missionary alliance of the Philippines, was started by the United States Missionary Alliance. It's its own entity now, but they were fine with letting us go feed the Catholic people, but they threatened the Catholic people that if they joined our church service, they would, you wouldn't be allowed. And the big one for them was, believe it or not, the Catholic cemetery, because your family was buried there. Everybody's buried there, and so if you not even joined our church, but if you even worshiped with the church, they would take away your rights. It's pressure.
Interesting. The
Trying to
Catholic
fight it.
Church in Costa Rica is very strict as well, which where I live, where I've lived up north and where I've lived here, though I have my differences with the Catholic Church, something that I've always loved about the Catholic Church is that they are very big in charity and helping. Even though I'm in a fairly small area and there's only one Catholic Church, any kind of anything you can think of that there might be a need for in the community, they have some special volunteer organization through the church themselves. So like knitting things for preemie babies and cancer stricken vets with PTSD, foster kids, divorcees, free stores where all the clothes and things are free. They have a really good food pantry. I mean, I could just go on and on. They literally have more than 20 different things like that. So they've always been really big into the charity, and you didn't have to be Catholic. And they help the homeless. They're real big on helping the homeless. But apparently in Costa Rica, where what I learned today, um, the church don't allow the homeless to go to the service. I guess they help to some degree, but the homeless people are not actually allowed in the churches.
In the
And so
Catholic.
the only yeah, in the Catholic churches they're predominantly Catholic. And so they're not
Mhm.
allowed. So these people who are very poor and or homeless, their only sense of church that they get is from the missionaries that come from different countries because they're not allowed in the local churches.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
isn't that crazy?
Do we hear a little Bible, or a few verses that, uh, if the rich guy comes in, don't set him up front, and then the poor guy comes in
Mhm.
and you sit over there by somebody's feet. They don't even let him in the church. So that's another. I guess that's an interpretation. Let the church, the rich guy come in, and don't even let those guys in because you don't want to put them in a prominent space. I don't quite get that. I think that would be out
Yeah,
of
I don't get it
context.
at all. They're also very strict. So you can okay, so Costa Rica is very big about the KJV version, which obviously the Spanish KJV version. And I have nothing against KJV only, and I actually prefer KJV. I just also use other translations alongside it. So the country really tries to push the KJV Spanish version. And I've gotten a couple of Spanish, what's essentially the Spanish NIV, because my thought process is if you've got homeless and poor and uneducated people, trying to get the and giving them a Bible, and if it's in KJV, which it's in their like old Spanish, where ours is in like old English, they're gonna have so much trouble understanding that. So I
Now
wanted to
we
get them.
back up. So, I like KGV too. But when they translated it to Spanish, they didn't translate it with modern Spanish words.
So this is like the same Bible that would have been read a long time ago. What years I don't know, right? But this is like we have like the new King James version, right? So it's translated in modern English. But yeah, the Spanish one is also in some kind of old Spanish. So that's interesting.
Now,
I
now,
couldn't even
I
begin.
mean,
Like I know a lot of Spanish, but Not like that.
And just, not, dogmatically, but does this sound kind of like a Satan thing? Put a
You know,
book in a language they don't understand. And that's one of my arguments for, against only KJV, because okay, that's the Spanish. Well, where's the KJB of the German language?
yeah.
Because that was all over
I've
the.
often wondered that because, like, I know Spanish has a KJV version, but is there one for Swahili? Is there one for? Well, I imagine probably most Native Americans know English, but like, is there one for France? Like, what version do the French read? Is it a French KJV? And if it is, like, is it like the Spanish where it's their own like old version? Or is it like they took the English KJV and then translated it into Spanish? Does that make sense? What I'm
No, totally, it's crazy
saying?
because you look at that, and I'm awake, not woke too, but I sound like one of the modern woke people. It's like,
Yeah.
no, why would God have used English? Why would God have used the English language? Now that's where I kind of agree with the woke thought, and usually any thought is partly good. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm
There's
no better than a Spanish speaking person just because I am in America. No, I love the fact that God allowed us to have so many riches, and you're doing exactly what you should be doing, because with our riches, God's going to want more out of us. But
Mhm.
to say that English, why would God, out of all the languages that, came out of the Tower of Babel, I'm going to use English, Old English, as the
Yeah, Old
standard
English.
language around the world. And I'm not quite understanding it. I wish we wouldn't do shows on it, but we did another show on it last night, showing that some of the things that a KJV only person argues is not very rational, and they don't have the answers. Where is the Chinese version? Because we know there's some
Yeah.
apostles went east, and they argue, oh, English went all the way around the world. Well, Chinese is a major language. Back at the time, like I said, Danish, I think, even went around the world, in European wise. Portugal, so Spanish went around the world. But was that Old Spanish, was that inspired, like they say? Some people say that, no. So, and it's like, guys, what is that doing but dividing? And we know in Corinthians,
Mhm.
don't divide. And then the really good thing is, I haven't heard any, even the wackiest, that anybody would say, oh, that guy's really, he's crazy. Um, they still say, well, yeah, you can get saved through any translation. But the one guy's like, well, you can't learn from it though. I was like, what? The Holy Spirit can kind of do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh,
Because,
I
like,
didn't say that.
don't get
Maud. Yeah, Maud is one, and hey, how'd that happen? Did I do that?
I mean, yeah,
I think God
yeah, it came up.
knew the dominant language would be English. Of course, he knew it would be, but you know, um, you have to argue then that dominant doesn't mean the only language. There's more people on the planet that don't speak English than do.
Mhm.
So God knew that in 2025 there'd be more people that did not speak English. And so in that case, Maud, your argument goes against you, that for this argument here. So welcome, Claude. How are you doing?
See, what I love about,
I'm okay, thank you. How are
oh,
you?
hello, Claude.
Um, say it again, Claude. I mean, talk more. Testing, Claude.
Oh, hello, how are you?
Oh, you're on.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
you're
Can you
good.
hear?
A whole
Can you hear
conversation.
me?
Do you hear us,
Good. Thank you.
Claude?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Yeah, you're coming in strong.
Yes, I can hear you.
Very good. I went a whole show, and it turned out I couldn't. Well, not a whole show, but I was talking to somebody, and they couldn't hear me, and I couldn't hear. Whatever. Welcome. We are doing
Well, it
good.
probably would have made more sense.
Well, I agree. Now, Claude, if you come on this show, I want you to make a joke. That wasn't a joke. You know that's pretty serious, and I know. I mean, that's a
That
serious
was a great
statement.
joke.
No, oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you thought it was a joke because a lot of times I don't understand what I'm saying. So, okay, good.
Hey, tell me about this Catholic Church not taking care of the poor and
Yes.
needy, Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same as
I heard about
DAL.
it
They don't want
today.
anybody poor. Yeah.
Learn more about it when we go there. For what I understand, they do help to a degree, but not the way that like churches in general or even the Catholic Church usually does. And also the homeless are not allowed in the church. That just blows my mind. And we went over so many different topics, we probably got about 15 or so more hours of training. So I've got I've got questions, and then I'll learn more also when I go there. And it's hard for me to imagine that any church would see a person and turn them away. um that just upsets me. That is so. Anyways, you know that's yeah. Okay, I'm just rambling now. I'm
But
speechless.
Yeah,
Speechless.
it's a
quite a
good.
few churches do the same. Kent, for example, he doesn't want to have people that are just homeless and not going to work. He only wants people that'll work. He doesn't believe in welfare of any sort. So it's quite common. There's quite a similarity between him and the so-called Catholic Church.
Well, Claude, I'm proud of you. You actually had a couple sentences before you brought up Kent, but again, you're going to make me jealous.
Yeah.
Talk
I was
smack.
going to ask you that. My original point coming on was to say, because you're opposed to cussing and profanity, and generally I am too, but one of your moderators, Lupin, is known for it. And yet he's a moderator on this channel. How does that sort of work?
I don't know, because when I saw you, because I haven't done any of those. I'm glad you mentioned that because I saw you. Did you get timed out? I thought I saw you getting timed out.
I didn't get allowed on just to begin with, but eventually I saw my comments when I eventually got a response from, I think, Mard and BBM that they could see me. But initially, I don't know why. I might have just been out there permanently, although Lupin was around. So I don't know. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. I'm on
Well,
now.
you know me, I like to babble, and I like other people to talk once in a while too, and even those especially those I disagree with. And so you heard me. I'll have to renew it because some people like to shut people up. Because of past whatever. It doesn't matter. Unless
Yeah,
somebody,
he's gone to bed now, I think. Yeah.
yeah, unless people are doing the cursing. And yeah, I was gonna say how to figure out how to get a rent so you can't be timed out from
Well,
somebody.
that would be dangerous. Yeah, that would be
Well, no, I
dangerous.
could still time you out.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, one of that way I'd know that it's one of the main guys, and then I could tell
Yeah.
because yeah, Lupin I think got one because he was going to be. I don't know. I as you know, I don't stick up too much.
Well, he's a profanity person. He should not be, on an honourable show like Proverbs Guys. He shouldn't have a wrench, but that's up to you guys.
uh, Claude, and see, I know you. You and I are so much alike. On a show that says we don't like cussing,
Yeah.
yeah, an honorable show, Claude.
You
I
can't
feel
have.
I feel a poke in my back there, like my evidence earlier. I'm gonna look.
I wouldn't have been poking at you. I was completely innocent.
No, that's why I like you, Claude, is because we have that same humor.
But
It,
Big Bad Mama wants a wrench too. Look in the comments.
well, you got to start saying you got to get yourself, timed out like
So,
Claude. So
all right.
that's when I would do the wrench thing. It's kind of like missing Maud, and really why I honor her. And even Gigi, is like, um, you know, don't be silencing people. Gigi actually gave me one of his highest moderator because I kept on
What?
getting timed out. Um,
I want one too. Then I want one too on this show.
well, you got to be timed out though. So Claude, on Gigi's show, I'll start banning you, and then he'll give you a higher wrench. So somebody, because he does not want people to be shut up. So that's really fun. And same thing with missing Maud, except for I'm not a high wrench on hers. So somebody with a
No,
higher
she's
wrench was booting me. So, but anyway, whatever.
I mean, missing Maud never uses profanity. The one thing I say, she never says the F word.
Missing Maud, is that right?
Is that right, Missing Maud?
Have I misheard some of your words? No, she admits it, and just like all of us, and like people, and nobody here's accused me of that with the cursing thing because they know
You don't, Dan. You don't swear. I've never heard you swear.
I.
You might have said sucks, but why is sucks a bad word anyway? I don't understand. I don't know what sucks means.
The ones that made, because my mom was a teetotaler, and some of the words she used, like the B word, talking about a female dog, she used that about all the time. She called us
Yeah.
sons of the bee, and so it's just, which was kind of funny, especially once I figured out what I meant. Is like, Mom must be real mad that she's calling us that, because when you detail what it's actually meaning. But so yeah, some words, but it's just
Well,
that
when somebody says that sucks, I don't know what they mean. I mean, does that mean a lollipop or what is it? I just don't quite.
It means like I don't like this. Like
All right, so it's okay.
say
It's
you
sort
just
of
finally
okay.
got your ice cream you've been looking forward to,
Yep.
and then it falls on the ground. You're like, that sucks. Or you were supposed to go on a date, but your husband gets called into work, and you're like, man, that sucks.
Missing
Your
Maud
husband
just
catches
called
you
my
on a
mother
date.
a
Yes, that's
dog.
it.
Oh my gosh, Maud, you just called my deceased mother a dog. I'm hurt.
Well, I know about that word. That B word. I don't try. I don't think I do use it. It's not very nice. I have said the F word occasionally, but normally not as punctuation. It's often slipped out. So I try
Maybe
not to use it at all. Yeah,
I know, and that's the thing is that yeah, it's just, to me, again, and you guys know my brain. I have a hard time focusing on things that are said. So if somebody says a word that really doesn't need to be there, then I'm thinking, now, why did they mean it that way? Why did they say that? How does it relate to the sentence? God, I have hard enough time just with basic words, let alone if somebody, then I'm trying to interpret what the cuss word means, and then how are they using it? Oh, crazy. Yes, my mom said, no, she said, you are sons of that B word you just spelled.
oh my
So
God.
that's why I was always
Oh goodness.
kind of curious, because it's kind of like she was calling herself the B word. But
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not what she meant.
My
Some
son's made
women
fun of
do.
me for that before, because I've never called him an SOB, but there's been times where like I drop something and a glass breaks or something, and I'm like, son of a, and my son a few times has been like, Mom, you're just insulting yourself. Like you're the mom. You're the only mom here.
Yeah, no, it's and it's funny, and that's where and it's some of it is just giving grace to people. We're all, and especially Claude, close your ears because I don't want you to repeat this, but it's Christians do and can come across as I'm better than you. And
Mhm.
that's you're not being a good Christian if you're communicating in any way that you're better than somebody else. And
Yep.
just with language, just with our own selves, sometimes it's like, oh, I shouldn't have said it that way, or I shouldn't have, because that sounds like that's what I'm saying. So earmuffs, Claude. I could just see Claude in some cute little missing mod earmuffs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be quite honest, there's a bit of a generation gap too, because I knew a woman and her kids would use the word. Well, it sounds like banker, but it starts with a W. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, see
Uh,
that
yeah.
word. Now I had to look it up in the dictionary. That's not a Northern California cuss word. So and
Really, calling someone a banker with a W is not a cuss word. Oh,
well, I mean, it's just not in our vocabulary here. So
what do you call them instead? Oh.
I don't know. I gotta look it up again. That's been a while. Was that like a dullard? No, dullard was a different word. Um,
Like a banker. Well, it's someone who sort of does certain things to themselves, usually with
oh,
one hand. Yeah,
oh,
and
okay. No,
my
that
friend
is,
didn't know what it meant. Yeah.
yeah, no. So that's not a part of my growing up. And like I said, I knew a lot of
Oh,
either uh, all English. So no, that I've never heard. I think
oh.
I've heard that like in a British movie or something. So now,
Yes, it's quite a British thing calling someone a banker, spelled with a W. Um,
okay.
but what other word? Like, I mean, can if you
I was
call
trying to
some,
figure out the word.
have you worked it out? Do you know what I mean? I don't want to say it,
Yeah,
but
I've worked it out now. I was like, what on earth? What could it be?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
British.
yes, oh, it's a British word, right? Well, are you allowed to say the word dick, for example? Is that in or out?
Wow, that's more of a
Like a dick is an idiot, but it can also be
right,
something
right.
else. Yeah.
And that's the
Hmm.
that word.
It's just no.
I will use that word, but meaning somebody dumb. But that, or yeah, you're
Right,
being
yeah.
of
A
that,
dick is in. Right. That's right.
right? And so that's the
So to
problem.
speak.
It's also a name. I feel bad for the people who
Yes,
it's
it
their
is.
name.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just a cruel thing to name your child. And I'm a strong believer of name your kid whatever you want, even if it's a really dumb name. Even if you spell it really stupid,
Oh,
like name your kid whatever you want. It might actually end up being popular in 10 years. So like some people,
oh,
there's some actress. Her kid's name is Apple. Ridiculous, but it's your kid. But why? Why that word? Why the D word? Like, come on.
No, for
yeah.
sure.
I
And
mean,
then as a kid, I used to call people, "Oh, you're a Richard," and so especially if there was a Richard around, um, or a guy named Dick, because I was a little um, annoying kid. But yeah, and that's where too Christianity. That's where there's no real gauge of right and wrongs that way. Well, if you say this, da da, and if you say it, it's the heart. So Claude, like you're so many times you're just making jokes or fun, you know, that's not considered sin, missing the mark. But you could be, you can go up polite. And I heard this, I don't, it was somewhere, but they were going, you could actually be polite and like, oh, you're such a gentleman. And that's not the right word, but it kind of expressing that they were actually telling you off. So even you could say
Oh, like
words, but
when
it was,
people go, bless your heart, but they mean
yes,
it in
that
like a
was it.
condescending way.
That
I
was it.
can't stand that. Just go ahead and call. Just like don't tap around the bush, okay? Just call me whatever you want to call me. Don't pretend like you're being nice.
Yes,
Like,
and
I
so
reckon there's a connection with people that have silly first names and crime. Quite often you'll see someone sentenced for a murder or something like that, and their first name is stupid. And you think, oh God, what sort of a chance did they ever have in life with a name like, I'll give Boomqueefer was one that I saw the other
Oh
day,
my goodness,
Gaylord.
no.
And, I mean, why would you, really dumb names, and then the person grows up dumb and you wonder why?
yeah, it because and that too, and that's
Yeah.
where we can agree, Claude, that society can shape people. So I mean, the song, it was always funny, but the boy named Sue, and at that time when that was
Yes.
popular, somebody did, and I not gospel, but they seemed to think, again, I'm just saying this off what I heard, so I don't even, but it sounds like it could be, is that there was more people in prison with off names, that the major names, common names, were less likely by percentage to be in prison. I don't know, but you certainly would have less people teased, I would imagine, if
Mm.
you all had these common names instead of a last name like Pozzi. But
So is your middle name something like Richard or what?
mine was Philip. So
All right, well, it's not too bad.
I
Not
like
terrible. Not terrible.
I know I lucked up with that one. Lucked out, except for with my spelling.
Right.
I was in high school spelling my middle name wrong, because there's another spelling for Philip with two L's and OP, or something like that. I don't know.
Did you ever get? It could be shortened to Phil, but I mean, if your family name was McCavity, it's not a good idea.
No, that
Phil.
would, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure. And so
Unfortunately, it's
My
Pozzi.
brother's name is Richard, or we call him Ricky. And I missed
Mm.
out on an entire childhood of opportunity of calling him the nickname with the D. Um, it never occurred to me my whole childhood, like ever. And then one day, as an adult, actually just a few years ago, someone had said something about, oh yeah, you must have made fun of your brother for that. And I was like, no, no, never. I called him Rachel Josephina because his name is Richard Joseph, and he made fun of me for Crystal and called me Chris. And it's funny because I actually go by Chris now. That's my real name. And anyway, so I called him Rachel Josephina. I didn't call him the D word. Uh,
oh,
that never occurred to me.
well, that's much more, to me, female. It actually took thought behind it. Only in my older age did I start actually putting thought into my nicknames of people. But
I would not call my son Richard because Dick Balls doesn't sound right, does it?
that's biologically closer.
Yes, but it just doesn't sound right. Yeah.
No, no, that
Yeah.
would be so
I
so
mean, my
terrible.
parents calling my sister was the names my parents gave to my sister was just terrible. She didn't work it out till later in life, and they didn't either. Hmm.
But did she go to prison?
No, but she's sort of had a share of men with a name like Ophelia. It's very unfortunate.
Oh, I love that name. It's a beautiful name. One of my pen names is Ophelia Lovely. Beautiful name, but with the last name Balls,
No, it's
I'm glad
Shakespearean
that she
apparently.
didn't put it together.
Yeah, I mean, Knutes would be bad too. Knutz or whatever, German name. That's not that good, you know. So, yes, parents need to
Thank
be
you,
very
Claude,
wary.
thank you, Claude, for bringing the content of the channel up. But
Exactly.
um,
Well,
missing mod,
many
get in
people
here.
say that. Yeah.
Missing mod, get in here and save us. And
Well,
she's
I was
Come
on
in here and
Terry's show.
cuss. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
I was on Terry's show the other day, and I sung a little love song for Valentine's Day. So yeah, I'm getting around. I'm going to start charging an appearance fee soon.
Speaking of
that.
Valentine's Day,
will be
I
the
had a
first.
great Valentine's Day. Have you guys heard of Rio's before?
I have
No,
not.
tell
I
us
don't know if
about
you
it.
would have, Claude.
Well,
So
we're
Rio's,
foreigners.
okay, so I'm Portuguese, and so I cook a lot of Portuguese food. Rio, and my family's from the Azores. They're from like the islands way, way off the coast of Portugal. Well, Rio's is a Brazilian Portuguese restaurant. And when you first go in, they have this huge cold bar. And it's like a lot of salad stuff, and then there's also like cold green beans, which doesn't sound good, but it was so good. And different cheeses, and they had a little bit of a hot bar for sides. You eat that, and when you're done eating that, you have these little cards and you turn them over to green, and then there's like 10 different kinds of people who come throughout the night, and then they actually come pretty quickly with all different kinds of skewered meat. Filet mignon, top sirloin, um, Parmesan pork, leg of lamb, grilled pineapple. I know that's not me, but that's thrown in there. Some kind of chicken, and it was so good. Possibly, other than the Thai meal that I had with the Buddhist monks at the Buddhist monastery, the best meal I've had in my life. Other than that Thai meal, like so good. It was so good.
Now,
Amazing. So if
where's
you
that
ever go anywhere and
restaurant?
there's a Rio's, go. It's in Myrtle Beach. There's a couple of them actually,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's like a southern United States thing or an East Coast thing, or if it's like a national thing like Denny's. You know what I mean? I'm not sure, but I imagine it's not international. Although then again, it's Brazilian. And it's like it's real Brazilian food, and the people who were cooking it were Brazilians, and you could see them cooking it through this big giant glass thing. Me and my husband have been wanting to go there for 10 years, and we've always wanted to go there for almost 10 years, 9 years, 10 Valentine's days, and we finally did get to go, and it was just the best food ever. So good, best
Uh,
service.
is that Florida?
No, South Carolina.
Oh.
Yes, if you ever go to Myrtle Beach, go to Rio's. It's amazing. It's a lot of money. You might have to save for a while before you go like I did.
I
My
figured as
kids
soon
were like, I
as
really want to go. I said, you're gonna have to give me some time to save up that much money.
as
But it was worth
What
every
beach was
penny.
that again? What's the name of that beach?
Myrtle Beach.
Is that Florida?
Nope, that's South Carolina.
All right. Is that near Florida there?
Like 9 to 13 hours, depending on where in Florida.
Oh, shit. It's a long
Yeah,
way.
it's quite a ways away. I'm in North Carolina, but I'm right by the border. So I'm just in South Carolina all the time. My husband works in South Carolina. I spend most of my time in South Carolina. Most of my like free activity time. The trampoline park that was in Myrtle Beach. So I'm always in South
No-
Carolina.
Nothing could be finer than to be in South Carolina in the morning. It's a
There's an
song.
amazing song on YouTube. Don't play it here because there's cussing in it, and it
All right,
has the
all right.
GD word. But there's a song, Myrtle Beach, and it is hilarious. And if you ever want to know what Myrtle Beach is like, that song is like the pinnacle of what Myrtle Beach is, and it's freaking hilarious. The Myrtle
Now,
Beach song.
wait. I'm thinking of, do we try and raise some funds to send Dan and his family to Dinosaur Adventureland? Because didn't Dan, you're having to look for another house, were you saying, or I get that
we
wrong?
are, yeah.
So
Oh, interesting.
is it to rent or buy? What do you want to do?
Um, whichever. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll be able to buy something. Luckily, my wife is not into huge houses, so she actually
No.
would rather have a smaller house. So that's
Yes.
gonna be
Costs too
better.
much to run a big house. Well, what I
Mm-hmm.
would like
Yep.
you to do, I would like to think about going to live there. It's cheaper.
Drew.
To where? Hi, Andrew.
Hey, how are you?
Oh,
We're
you're in
doing well.
California, aren't you?
I'm in California. Yes, that's with the with
So you're,
the
you're quite a ways
economy.
away.
Yeah, with
Are
the
you selling
economy.
a house before you
No,
move?
uh, well, the house is it's a trust property. We were like a week away from buying it, and all right, here we go. Proof revolution. Hello.
Hello.
That's very cute.
That is adorable.
Oh, so they evolved from each other, or the. All right, you made my show. Good. I said, like gonna end it at the 3 hour mark, and this is awesome. Andrew, what do you think of that? Oh my gosh, the tongue too?
Yeah.
That's fake. That's gotta be fake. That little chihuahua you had with the tongue out the side.
Yeah.
Dogs can do weird things with their faces.
Mm-hmm.
So is that a dressed up chihuahua?
No. No. You'll see. I have tons more where this came from.
Oh my gosh. And you actually showcased one on I am honored. I said all you had to do is one of the older ones you did, so it didn't spoil your show. But this is a good teaser for Mod Show tomorrow, I imagine.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, Andrew, did I kick you off?
No,
Hello again.
I was
I
I was
can't
getting
hear
an echo from my
Andrew.
phone,
He's very
so I
quiet.
All right. So you see the proof for evolution there? Oh, Andrew, without the cutest little pictures.
Little baby giraffe.
the
I want to
whipping
feed it.
giraffe, yeah.
Hold on, I was just changing it to a different one.
So, Dan, how do we get you down to DAL? And we could
I
get those
am
animals from Missing Mod Zoo to you too. You could look after that.
I am planning on making a trip because Gemma's. Now, is that going to attack itself? Is that
It's
why
like my
they
Wendy
went?
cat.
Is that why they went extinct?
I don't know why it's not working. It's supposed to be moving.
Well, it probably ate itself, and you didn't want to do that on my show. That would make us cry. But a cat bird, would it would it kill itself?
The owl and the pussycat. The owl and the pussycat went to sea.
It's supposed to be moving, but it's not. I don't know why.
Uh-oh. That is hilarious. No, our little kitten, it'll just sit at the window and kind of this, and and I've looked it up, and it's like telling the bird, I'm gonna come get you. Or I don't know what it's telling it, but I told it to be quiet. If it's gonna go kill the bird, they're gonna hear it. The bird will hear it if it makes that funny noise. But we keep it in. I don't like the birds getting eaten by the common cats. So, but that is the cutest.
That's the way God made them. That's the
It
way
is.
God made them.
Well, it wasn't Claude. They weren't made like that. They mutated that way.
Oh, I love these videos. They're hilarious.
You.
But those are the most obnoxious parrots. No, they're not. There are a lot of parrots. But the Amazon parrots are such characters.
Isn't that a conure?
No, that could be a conure. No, it looks like an Amazon. But conure.
I'm not the best at bird ID. So, I could be wrong. I can tell you a cockatoo, and I can tell you, like, a parrot, or, cockatiel, and, like,
Looks
wild
like
birds.
parakeet.
Yeah, I worked at
A parakeet.
Yeah, parakeets. Yeah, those are.
That's too big for a parakeet.
Yeah, they're little can openers too. But the Amazon, they'll pretend I like you, pet me, and then they just latch onto you. I worked at a bird store because the guy wanted to start a nursery, so I started the nursery for him. There he goes. Oh,
Evan.
gosh,
Aw.
that looked like an owl.
You like that, Andy? Does that look like me? Look. My cat is uninterested.
Oh. Claude, where'd you go? Claude's looking out.
Claude's upset because we're debunking creation right now.
I know that's why. Yes, no. That's why. Claude is a good sport. There he's back. Let me put him up there. Claude took the challenge because Maud said you ran away because she's debunking evolution. I thought you were proving evolution.
I am.
Oh, that is so cute. That looks just like our little kitty too. You know,
Yeah, I've got a gray tabby that looks very similar. She's a little bit more gray though.
Call that a cowl?
Oh, good name.
I get.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because otherwise, what are you gonna call it? A wat? A wat? A wat? Yeah,
Yeah.
cowl's the
It's a
best.
hawk. The body there looks like a hawk.
Okay, well,
Sorry. Claude, this is your fault. Just kick me out, man. Just ban me.
What do you mean? That's why, even on your shows, but any show, it's like I could be like in death combat with somebody else, and you'll do that, and I was like, oh, look at the little kitty with the bird body.
Well,
Um,
has it been funny? Because I've been cracking up. I've been thinking it's really funny.
I think it's hysterical. You are talking about the kitty bird.
I'm talking about like whenever I start saying how Christians better look out because this is proof right here.
Claude, you think that's funny too, right? I think
I'm
it's
going to
hysterical.
reboot my computer. I'm going to go because I need to reboot because I've something wrong with my connection. So I'll join again in a little while.
Okay,
Bye.
well, I'm going to close down like in 3 minutes. I got to go get
Oh, well,
Philip.
okay. I'll see you next time.
Yes.
see you next
and
time, Claude.
best wishes to Sandra. See if you can get to interview her. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
you're
Bye.
going to have to give me some more information so we can get you a date with her. But don't say that. No, I didn't say that, MM. You're number one on his heart.
No, I'm not. He turned me down. Oh,
You mean
geez.
Claude talks like that to all women?
Yeah,
Man,
exactly.
man.
He's a Casanova.
I heard something. Oh, that was from you, Stephanie.
What?
That women like that, and I was, talking. Forget it. I'm off of evolution creation now. But my guy I know is like that, and these women are like, "Oh, he's such a dog." But it's crazy. They give him attention.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. That's proof of evolution too. Just kidding.
No, and it's and so that's why I really like having fun. But then because just take either the cat or the bird, and that's evidence we have. And it's like, well, you either believe that evidence we see was caused by random chance mutations, or it was created, designed. And so it is crazy. You got one more to show us? We got like a minute left. Oh, Awake took off? Oh no, Awake's there. Why isn't...
I'm
Oh,
here.
I'm counting only 2 people because I put Maud on the big screen. Why do I still have that? Hello, JSP. Free
A bit
will.
late in the day for that.
Yes, free will versus predestination. Now I'm seeing that cat owl body, and I'm thinking preterist type of like the movie, the what's that movie? Oh,
It's
there's Dan.
adorable.
There's Dan.
I used to live next door to a park, and I had these 2 little pups, and they loved to go down the slides. And my cats would follow us. I had a lot of cats at the time too, and so we would walk to the park, and there'd be 2 dogs and like 4 cats, and the 4 cats would watch on the other side of the fence, and the dogs would just go down the slides with us.
This is Bruce
Oh.
talking to Christian.
That's better than my joke. Now is this Christian trying to get away, but he knows he can't? and he doesn't really want to, but or
No, I
is
think
this
it's just Bruce wasting his time.
Bruce on it has to be a independent Baptist preacher that got a certificate from a independent Baptist seminary and King James only. Woo! No, and darn, Bruce, we've seen so much progress from Bruce. And then maybe it's like this, the cat, it gets up a little bit. That's Bruce getting a little bit of progress with just, preaching the gospel, loving people. And then it slides back down and King James only, and you're no good.
No.
And you're not the right.
Go to hell. You're evil. Just kidding, Bruce. We love you.
Oh, I do. Oh, I wouldn't have said that because if Bruce, once he gets more mature, I would see him somewhere preaching, because he did the John book for us starting off when Stephen abandoned ship again, and he did awesome just going through the Bible. And then Christian came in, and this running cat is what happened. So anyway, now I've got 2
That
minutes.
means we're all the running cat because we're all Christian.
I've gone, thank you. I went 2 minutes over because I was watching that. So God bless everybody. I hope you have a great
y'all.
And
Bye.
in the
Good talking
evidence
to you.
we've seen, I at least want you to think that the cause of that might have been an intelligent designer. Because again, only two choices. All right, let me see if I can do my
Night, guys.
thing and look halfway. And this is
Good
for
night.
Maud and Awake coming on in. Thank you so much. The crowd loves you. I love you. And where'd the thing go? Here it is. We're out of here.
Much love.
Bye.